What's up, everybody? Chris Record here. It is Monday, April 1st. And today for Atlas Academy, we've got a fun topic. And the topic is going to be faceless marketing plus using other people's content. Now, you guys, I have taught this so much. In fact, we have an entire Faceless Content Academy. Not only that, Fast Bootcamp taught it, right? Not only that, AI Academy taught it because that's all faceless. And I've spent Clipping Academy taught using other people's content. So it's already been taught. But the reason I thought about teaching this today is two reasons, okay? One is that I have a couple of friends in my personal life that were coming to me asking for some ideas on how to be able to make some money. And the very first thing that I told them to do was to create faceless pages and use other people's content. It's kind of like the 2024 thing to do. It's kind of like how print on demand was back in like 2013 or 14. It's like how Shopify was back in 2016, 2017. It was the thing to do. Like drop shipping on AliExpress, you know? There's times when things are hot. It's just like the very first thing. It's kind of like what's good right now. What I tell my personal friends when you guys are not around, when cameras are not rolling, what I tell my close personal friends that I want to succeed is I tell them to create faceless pages and start posting OPC to them. So I started thinking about it. I was like, why? That's number one. Number one reason is like, I need to teach this more to you guys because it's literally like the thing that I'm telling everybody to do. And the second thing that I think is important there is to be niche specific, right? Not just posting random content all over, but actually being niche specific, finding a niche that you know enough about that you can understand what's good and what's bad in it. Like what content's good in it. But I don't care if the niche does not have to be business. In fact, when I talked to my friends about it, the profile this morning that I recommended to a close friend who I would call a brother was cats. I told him that he should do a niche in cats because he has cats. You know, he's a man living alone at home with cats. And I was like, hey, bro, if you're a man living at home with cats, like you gotta love cats. You gotta like, why would you do that? And he's like, oh, absolutely. I'm a cat guy. Some people are dog guys. I'm a cat guy. And I was like, what about cats as your niche? And so anyways, I just feel like that's going to just be easy money for him. So here's somebody I really care about that I would consider like a brother who I'm saying you should be in the cat niche and you should post videos about cats that other people have already posted and made viral. And you should do it under a generic cat page. Then I have another friend, okay? Another friend who likes cooking. Like if you go to their For You feed on TikTok or Instagram or anything, all the reels are all people that do recipes, right? So to that friend, I was like, what you need is you need to create maybe even a couple of cooking pages, chef pages, recipe pages. And you need to take those same videos that everybody else is posting that are getting 1 million views, and you need to post them to your page. And they're like, well, can I? And wow, what a question that is. That is really that's really what makes it the recommended strategy, isn't it? Can I really just use other people's content? You see, the reason we're not doing this is because part of us feels like we're not supposed to. And if we just really realized, okay, there is a way to do it now that has never been done before, that is legal, moral, and ethical. And in fact, most content creators want you to do it. Then suddenly you start to realize this really is probably the best marketing strategy. Now, it's a combination of three things, really. It's a combination of faceless marketing, which is essentially building the accounts. I call them ghost accounts, right? Building up these ghost accounts. They're not tied back to you at all. They don't have your name. They don't have your email on them. They don't have your face. They don't have your contact information. Nobody really can tie them back to you. Maybe a super internet sleuth could figure it out. You don't care that much, right? Because the pages are legal, so you don't really care that much. But just generally speaking, you distance yourself from the brand. So that the first part of it is all faceless. How can you do it all faceless where you're never needed? The second part of it is clipping, right? But clipping can be 10 times easier than you think it is. For example, clipping is a spectrum. On phase one, part one of the spectrum, this left side of the spectrum is just downloading a video using the 4K video downloader and uploading it. Meaning the video never touched a video editor. You never, ever, ever used a video editor. You just downloaded and uploaded. That's what we taught in the early days, like Fast Bootcamp and AI. Just download, upload. Then clipping kind of goes on a spectrum in terms of like a scale. Okay, you could download, throw your watermark on it inside of a video editing program like CapCut or Canva, and then upload. That would be like the next little notch on the scale. And then maybe another notch is add some captions. Maybe another notch is add some music. Maybe another notch is trim it down. It's a little bit long. The original, I'm always trying to get you to figure out how can you simply improve the original. But sometimes the original is already good. And all you really have to do is repost it, right? And then you get into the full spectrum, which is how could you even just recreate the original? Now that's, I think, where like that's where you really start. You want to kill it, you can actually create your own original content. When you create your own original content based on viral aspects, it's complete. So we're going to talk about this. Okay, we're going to talk about this today. So the first part was Faceless. The second part was other people's content. And the third part is being very, very niche specific. What I mean by being niche specific is if all you're doing is just posting viral videos, the problem is no one's really going to subscribe to your channel. No one really cares. They're just going to see it. They're going to be entertained in the feed, and then they're just going to move on, right? So at some point, you're looking to actually grow your channel. So you're going to have to be somewhat like, you're going to have to start to target an audience that is niche specific, that is specific, the specific type of people that would be interested in more content like that. So you're not just looking to you're not just looking to use a video, you're looking to attract an audience of like-minded people and continue to show them more videos. So that's really the key to being successful. Now, before we get started, and I'm going to show you some examples, let's address probably the biggest concerns people have when I talk to them about this industry. Probably the biggest number one objection that I get from people right off the bat is copyright. And what this means is, I don't blame you. I don't blame you guys for thinking copyright. That's a big objection. What I mean is simply that you can't just steal other people's content and post it as your own, right? So this is the big question, is like, how? How can you? The first thing that you got to understand is the vast majority of people out there want you to do this. They want you to do this. I taught this in Fast Bootcamp, and it was like eye-opening for people. The first thing everybody needs to understand is that people want to go viral. And in order to go viral, they really need people out there doing stuff like this to give them more exposure. So there is a fine line between actual content that you should not be using and content that you should be using. Now, I'll give you some basic examples, similar as I did on Fast Bootcamp. Okay? I'll give you some examples. But a good example would be, long form versus short form content. Long form content does not follow the same rules. So when I'm talking about this, I'm talking purely about short form content. Let me give you some obvious things right out the gate so we know that we're all on the same page. What's popular right now? Baseball, okay? If a Major League Baseball game is 3 hours and it's broadcast on television and you think that was a great game, so you record the game and you upload it to your YouTube channel, that will get struck for a copyright violation, okay? That is not allowed. That would be an example of what not to do. Most all of the long form content is going to follow that same standard. Let's say that you're watching a UFC match, and the UFC match is even just one round, and it's two people fighting, and somebody knocks somebody out in the first round, and it's over. And you think, well, that's short. It's only a minute. No, that's still going to get flagged and copyright, and your channel is going to get struck down. So it's important to understand what I'm talking about is not the world of using clearly copyright protected material from sources that do not want you to share their content. So this would be any sort of full unedited highlight, a full unedited clip of copyright protected content, movies, television shows, sports events, anything that people are paying for, because that directly hurts the person. Maybe it would even be like an example, would be like, you can't just, let's say Rihanna or Taylor Swift has a music video. You can't just rip the music video and post it to your channel. That would be stealing her original content without permission, and it would be easy to detect and easy to flag as a copyright violation. So let's take all of that out. I'm not talking about any of that. What I'm talking about, for example, is lately, like a perfect example, I was talking about cats. There's these memes going around where it's one cat having a conversation with another cat, and the cat's just going mew mew, and this cat's going mew 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 mew, and this cat goes mew mew, and this cat goes mew 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 mew, and all they're doing is they're just throwing up text for what the cats are saying. And there's maybe 100 different versions of this clip based on different conversations, people just having fun with it, right? It's a viral trend. Boom. Nobody's going to come after you and say, hey, that's copyright, violation or whatever that is. You know what I'm saying? That is just what we would consider generic viral content, GVC, generic viral content. So right off the bat, a category that you could feel comfortable with would be generic viral content. Okay, first. Second is when you're using other people's content. Another thing is if people are doing specific things that are short like skits or short like funny little things or short whatever, that are purely, when they create it, this person's purely creating this to try to get exposure, to try to go out there and try to go get viral. That's another example. When people want their stuff shared, that's another example. Perfect example there would be podcasts, or more specifically, podcast clips. So let's say a podcast is 2 hours. It would be copyright infringement to take the podcast and post it to your channel. You'd be stealing their content and posting your channel. But to take a 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute clip out of there that makes the person look good, that's what they want. You understand? So there's also a key word that I'm saying there, makes the person look good. If I were to take a piece of a podcast that made a person look really bad, if I were to take them out of context and make them seem like they said something that they didn't, they would be upset. So they would try to strike the channel, try to flag the channel, or try to tell their followers, hey, report that, because it's making them look bad. But if I make them look good, that's what they want. So as long as you understand the basic concept, which is there's a certain level of content you do not use for other people's content. There's a certain level of content you do use, and you do it with respect. You're never really trying to offend anybody. You're never trying to put yourself on the radar where anybody would be contacting you. You're generally helping to expose them. This is absolutely the way to go. Okay. By the way, I see people ask about replays and stuff like that. I think I got most of them up except maybe a few days. There's a few days of the end of the month, last month, that aren't up yet, just so you guys don't have to worry about asking. So what about the grumpy cat? It's what can we do to increase traffic and respect to their content? I don't know about grumpy cat, but I'm going to try to give you some general guidelines here. So when I see people doing skits, a lot of times they're not short skits. A lot of times they already know that's going to get pushed all over the internet. So as a content creator, when you create something, you already know this is going to get pushed. People are going to download it. People are going to repost it. People are going to create fake accounts. People are going to create knockoff accounts, spin-off accounts. They're going to repost it. As long as it's like giving you attention, making you more famous, you don't really care. But if it's done in a way that is trying to steal from your brand and trying to take away from you, that's where it matters. Like a perfect example would say, let's say that there is a couple, a power couple. Okay, let's say there's Grant and Elena Cardone. Okay, so let's say there's Grant and Elena Cardone, and I'm posting all these clips about them that make them look good. Great. But let's say I post a bunch of clips that make Grant Cardone like the devil. And let's say Elena Cardone is like a devil worshiper. And I start taking things that Elena says out of context and I splice them together with other things, and it makes them seem like a demonic couple who's out there like bloodthirsty, whatever. It starts getting viral because people are like, wow, that's juicy, right? Grant and Elena are going to come after me. Do you know what I'm saying? Versus if I just share all their content, like share little clips of their content over, they're going to love it. They're going to be like, hey, like they'll be like, great job. You understand what I'm saying? But another example would be like, let's say that I'm posting a lot of Grant and Elena Cardone content, but then I'm selling merch. And my merch is like Cardone Empire or Grant Cardone, pictures of Grant Cardone, Elena Cardone. They might feel like, what's this? They're making money off of my image and my likeness. They're directly making money off this. So they might have a lawyer contact me and say, hey, we're going to sue you for every dollar you've made off all the merch using our name and image and likeness. That would be an example of copyright infringement. All of that still exists. But generally speaking, with short form content, if I'm just clipping their content and reposting it, or I'm just using somebody else's clipped content, reposting it, generally saying you're always in the safe area. So as long as we stay there in the safe zone, we're fine. We do it all faceless. We stay in the safe zone. It's actually what people want. It's what people want. Now, as far as clipping goes, like I said, there's levels to it. The first level is you don't even have to edit the video at all. You could just take an already edited video that is clearly not in copyright violation. So an example would be like, just because somebody else, posted, let's say there was a UFC fight and the person gets knocked out in 1.5 minutes. So there's the full 1.5 minutes of the fight. Just because somebody else posted that doesn't mean I can. I have to use some level of common sense and say, obviously that's like the full fight, but I could probably just do some highlights and it'd probably be okay. Like if I just did a quick, like little TikTok that just showed some highlights of like, top 3 knockouts, and then boom, knockout number 1, boom, knockout number 2, boom, knockout number 3. That's fine. Nobody's going to care. Also, another thing you can do is you can give credit in the post whenever you're doing, say, hey, source, whoever you got the video from. You can also do that. So I need you guys to understand that the only real objection people are going to have is copyright infringement here. That's really the only objection. If you guys understand there's a line, that is pretty much just as long as you don't cross the big line, you should be fine. Now, you guys can ask questions about that and I'll kind of come back. But part 1 is copyright. If you guys have specific copyright questions, I'll do my best to answer those, obviously. Now, part 2, outside of copyright, okay, is going to be the how to actually do it. And how to do it is a combination of how do I set up the page? People think that's harder than it really is. It's actually really easy. Social media accounts are some of the easiest things to set up in the world. And usually most social media accounts take a couple minutes to set up. So the setup of the accounts is easier than you think. And the other part of it is the finding the content. Finding the content is also easier than you think. You really just can basically create a news feed that's going to just feed the algorithms. As long as you tell the algorithms that you want to see content like that, the algorithms are going to start showing you content like that. These algorithms are trained AI. That is, if you could just tell it that's the content you want to see, then it'll show you that content. And then the next part of the how-to is going to be like, well, how do you download it? And for the most part, you're just going to use the 4K video downloader. It's a software tool. They have a free version. You're just going to use that. We have a link to be able to get it in the marketplace, 4K video downloader. And as far as paying for it, you don't even really need to pay for it. Just use the free version. As far as anything that can't be downloaded with the 4K video downloader is going to really give you access to like YouTube Shorts, Facebook Reels, stuff like that. As far as anything else, yeah, you're just a Google search away from figuring it out. If you want to download something from TikTok, I'm sure there's a Chrome extension that you can download. If you want to download something from Instagram, whatever, I'm sure there's tools. If you want to get something from somewhere, there's always usually somebody's got the hack to do it. And you can just use Google to figure that out. So you don't need me to tell you every possible way to get every possible video off the internet. You can figure it out. But 4K video downloader is going to give you the majority right off the bat. And so the idea is It's easy to create a page on any specific niche. It's easy to find viral content in that niche. It's easy to download that content, and it's easy to publish that content to your page, all faceless. The only part that I would say has any degree of difficulty, all of that is, I think I could teach anybody how to do that in one day. So for everything I just named, creating a faceless empire on in any niche is one day worth of learning. The part I think that the parts that are a little bit harder, there's really two parts that I think are how you go from beginner to pro. And part one would be like clipping, getting like actually downloading CapCut for desktop, learning how to actually do things like add captions, learning how to actually make a video better. So essentially, there's going to be a big opportunity for you to make something more original. So when you're just copying other people's content, the algorithms kind of know this content already exists, so they're not going to give it as much favor. If you can take content and tweak it and make it better, then you have a chance to be able to take something that's like semi-viral and make it super viral, especially if you boost it with an ad, right? So learning CapCut a little bit is, I would say, number one, like learning some basic video editing, Canva and CapCut, number one is going to help you. Number two is, I would say, learning some basic advertising, what I'd call like $5 a day Facebook ads or even $1 a day ads. Or if you're doing TikTok, really finding that one video you think has the most potential and maybe throwing 20 bucks at it. But little small $5 to $20 increments to be able to try to learn how to be able to boost things. That's going to give you a big advantage in case your page is not going organic virally, like in case your page is not going virally organic on its own. You have the ability to not give up on it, but instead try to find your most viral content and try to boost it with some ads, targeting your audience, see if that works. So I'd say it's number two. And then number three, I'd say, is monetization. Is going to be once you build an audience, and that doesn't come until you can build an audience. There's no point in trying to monetize if you don't even know how to make something go viral. Like if you can't figure out how to build let's say cats. If you can't figure out how to build a page about cats and be able to get viral videos about cats and target cat lovers and be able to get a lot of if you can't get thousands of engagements on a single post or even on all your posts, then you're probably not going to monetize that page anyways. So any effort put into monetization is pretty much going to be wasted. There's a scene from a movie called The Social Network. And it's a scene where the guy acting as Mark Zuckerberg meets up with the guy who's acting as the founder of Napster, right? Jesse Eisenberg and Justin Timberlake. So they meet up at a restaurant, right? And then they're all having this discussion. And it's like the question comes up, like, when should we start advertising? And Justin Timberlake says, no, you don't want to advertise. Like right now, like the party's cool. People want to be at the party. You don't want to start shoving ads. You want to take advantage of the fact that everything's cool and everything's popular right now. So don't ruin that by just throwing ads everywhere, right? Kind of keep it cool. And that's kind of the basic advice that you want. It's kind of the basic advice you want for your fan page. It's like in the beginning, try to make your fan page a cool party in your niche. Try to make it a place that actually is cool. There will be plenty of opportunities to monetize. So you don't really need to worry about, like, I will give you one single piece of advice, and I promise you this. There's not been a single person that has come to me with a successful faceless page or a successful brand, right? That has like, hundreds of thousands of followers or tens of thousands of engagements or whatever. If they come to me and say, how can I monetize this? 100% of the time we can monetize it. You will never have a problem monetizing a cool party, right? If your faceless content is cool, it's monetizable. Just don't worry about it. I mean, even if you don't want to monetize it, you could just sell it, right? You could sell. There's probably another community member here who would love to just buy it off of you. So what you got to understand is that you're building an asset that's worth money. Absolutely. 100% of the time, as long as you build it right. So worry less about monetization, but it's an important skill to learn how to monetize, because learning how to monetize does require a bit about what we teach is called the invisible selling method and bridge marketing. So I would say that is more of the intermediate to advanced stuff to learn, would be those three things. I said two, but it's actually three. The three things, again, learning how to monetize the page. That's probably the last thing you should learn. Learning how to advertise the page, and I think you're going to want to start smaller. You're not really going to get into big advertising until you're making money. so you could reinvest, I doubt you're going to front a bunch of money, but you know, 5, 10 bucks here and there, 20 bucks here and there is not the worst practice that you're going to get. And then the third skill, it's intermediate to advanced, would be video editing, essentially clipping. Outside of that, everything else can pretty much be learned in a day. I want you to understand it's one of the easiest things to do possible. So I'm going to dive in. I'm going to share some examples. Before I do, let's hit the chat real quick and make sure I'm not missing anything crazy. Yeah, I think so. For my friend that's doing the cat page and my friend that's doing the food page, I might create pages for both of those this week for you guys, just to show you. I mean, I'm planning on dedicating this week to it, by the way. It's Monday, just so you guys have an idea. I'm planning on really diving into, you know, creating pages. Okay, this week is really more about income producing activities than anything. So it's the week that I have kind of written out. It's really just about making sure we all have income producing activities that we're focused on. But so the income producing activity can be personal. You can use your personal face. I prefer to use my personal brand. Like right now, I'm not hiding. This is me personally. I prefer to use my personal brand. So income producing activities, I just want to make sure I have good income producing activities I'm doing every single day. What I'm doing today is I'm giving those of you that are not comfortable with your own personal brand, I'm giving you a way out. I'm giving you a way to be able to do this without your personal face or anything attached to it. That's all I'm doing. And I'm giving you an income producing activity. So the income producing activity, very simply, is to post viral OPC. I don't even want to count filler posts as an income producing activity. I used to, but I've seen so many of you. Let's do some real talk. Real talk with Chris Record for a minute. The biggest problem that I saw when I taught this the first time around in Fast Boot Camp was I very clearly said there are two types of content. There is filler content and there is viral content. Filler content is just some basic, like, could be like picture quotes or something. Doesn't matter as much, just some content for the page so it's not empty. Usually post like once a day. But then viral content, I said, is usually OPC. It's other people's content. It's finding something that has virality. That's really where you're going to actually have success with your page, right? I taught those two things. I taught filler content and viral content. You guys would not believe that pretty much 99% of the people that built Faceless pages just did filler content. Even after I explained, you will not have any success with it. 99% of people built filler content. Only 1% of people really focused on viral content. And the 1% of people that focused on viral content, almost all of them succeeded, meaning their content went viral. Almost all of them. And if somebody right now created a Faceless page and used a bunch of OPC and it didn't go viral, I would say, let's just try boosting it for $5. Watch, that's probably all you were missing. But the filler content is essentially posts that pretty much aren't going to go viral. Like it would be like something that like if you go into Canva and you just create like 30 little video backgrounds with some words on them, like those aren't going to be successful. Like we already know those aren't going to work. There's no example of those working anywhere. They're just not successful. They're just filler content. Right? That's why I gave them a call. I said, this is filler content. It is just for practice. I told everybody it's good to do because it's good. You need something to be able to do, and it's good for practice. But viral content is where your page is going to grow. And original content is what you essentially want to get to. You want to get to the point where you understand what content your audience wants, and you get to the point where you create original content. That's what I told everybody. So I just need you to understand this. Okay? Need you to understand this. Should we take down our old pages? I've never taken down an old page. Dan says, I did a quick throwaway page, like you said, travel in the USA, and threw $10 to boost the video post to get ready for this week's training, and results below. Well, how much of the $10 was spent? All of it? Something was done wrong then. But the part that wasn't done wrong is you taking action. The fact that you took action on something, that was good. So I would consider that a win. However, spending $10, you should have got, I would imagine, 100 times the results. So I would the win that I would celebrate is that you took action prior to training and you were able to set something up, you're able to place an ad, and you were able to get results. But the next goal I would figure out what went wrong here. So let me ask Dan a couple questions real quick. The first thing I said to do was don't boost the post on the page, right? So the very first thing I said to make sure you guys don't do is don't hit the boost post button. You want to always use Ads Manager because the boost post button is just a vacuum for cash. So when you guys create pages on Instagram or Facebook, whatever, they're always going to give you a little option that says boost post. I don't want you guys to use that because that is just for like, hey, are you too beginner to understand how ads work? Here's a way to give us some money. And then, yeah, we'll give you some engagement. They're basically, it's just like a vacuum to take your money. Now, don't get me wrong. Every once in a while, it doesn't matter. Your content and the audience will be so, like, the algorithm will pick it up and will make it go good. So I'm going to say maybe like 1 out of 10, 1 out of 20 of those might work. But for the most part, I want everybody to understand, for the most part, that's not going to work. But I'll ask Dan a couple of questions. Dan, did you use the boost post or did you go into Ads Manager? I think based on the screenshot, it looks like you did the boost post. That's right on the page. The second question I'll ask Dan is, was it a video? Was it a short? Was it a reel? Did you boost a reel? And the third question is what platform? So here's the information I want to know from Dan. I can share it with everybody if you want, Dan. I want to know what platform it was on. Was it a Facebook page, Instagram, whatever? And I want to know, did you use the boost post button, or did you actually go into Ads Manager and use the video views or page post engagement like I taught? I haven't really fully taught it yet. And so what? And then was it a reel? And then the last question, I guess, is like, who'd you target? That would be my question if he wants to answer. By the way, in the background, I'm going to go to his page really quick. I don't know if I'm going to share it yet. Without his permission, I don't think I'm going to share it. But if you want me to, I will. Okay, Dan, do you want me to share this? I'll tell you right now what I would do differently. It's up to you, Dan, if you want me to share or not. Let's see. All right, he said, go ahead. All right, so here we go. So let's start real quick here. Okay, so Dan created this page. He said, based on last week's training, he said he wanted to get a head start and create a page and practice advertising before this week, right? Since that's what we're doing this week. We're going to be setting up some faceless pages, creating some content, and boosting them. So he set up a faceless page, created some content, and boosted it. So first of all, Dan, congratulations. I think that is pretty much automatically a win. Let's get into some things that are not some wins. First thing is, I do notice that there are PNG tree. There's stuff all over this image, the copyright stuff all over the image. I mean, I don't care that much, but just keep in mind, in the future, probably grab one without it. Places to travel in the USA. Here's the thing. When you're seeing content, you're seeing it in the news feed, right? You're just seeing like a little thumbnail like this and a little title. So try to make it a little bit cooler when you guys are creating stuff. We'll talk more about this week, but I would say, like, something like, I would say, let's have some fun with this one really quick, right? So let's go here. Let's go to ChatGPT and say, I'm looking to create a cool name for my travel business. I want it to be 2 words, and it's all about traveling in America, such as USA Traveler. But I want it to use some lingo that travelers would understand. Keep it short and fun. Can you give me a list of 25 ideas? Okay. So we'll teach more about that when we actually go through creating pages. But what I would probably do is keep it a little bit more fun. You know, almost any one of these would probably be better, like road trip rambler. So instead of places to travel in the USA, this seems like an advertisement, right? It just seems like a corporate hotel thing, right? So, you know, whatever that was, I can't even remember, the road rambler. Okay, so you got something. Wait, what was? I can't even remember what it was, but that's fine. Road trip rambler. Okay, the road trip rambler. Okay, so, or even just road trip rambler. Okay, so, you know, and then instead of pictures like this, now you've got a brand, right? So then you'd have like something here that's like, what is like the most simple thing that could like illustrate like a road and travel, right? And you go back here and go, okay, I like the name Road Trip Rambler. Can you create me a logo for my social media profile that is a square that uses the text Road Trip Rambler and elements of a road and traveling. Okay, something like that. So, you know, and you just go on and build it all. Okay, so basically I'd go in and just do something like that. It would take a couple minutes, but also grabbing the text just for fun. I don't mind. In fact, I do this all the time. I would use a different picture for this and that though. But again, most people won't see it here, so don't spend too much time on it. Now what I would do here, so featured. Okay, so this is the only post you have, right? So let's look at this. Okay, I like this. And then what happened? No, stop. Okay. Something happened. We went from good to bad. Right here, good. What happened? There was a viral, there was something here that was viral. Okay, so what is this called? Glass Pedal Beach. So let's maybe Glass Pedal Beach. Glass Pebble Beach? Pebble Beach. Glass Pebble Beach, right? Is that where it is? Fort Bragg? Okay, so it's got a bunch of these like cool things, whatever. Is it worth visiting? All right, so essentially what I'm probably looking for, I don't see anything cool in here. What I'm probably looking for, this place doesn't look that cool, to be honest. What I'm probably looking for is something more exciting. So let me ask Dan a couple more questions real quick. By the way, Dan, I'm not giving you any hard time for any of this. I'm trying to have us all learn from it, right? Just so don't take anything personal. You probably put no less than 10 minutes of effort into any of this, right? You just grabbed a random video, advertise it. But so essentially, let's type in like essentially let's just type in something, right? Like let's say travel. Okay, and let's look at some shorts. Okay. So let's type in travel. Let's look at some shorts here, right? So social media versus reality. Let's look. So
This is social media versus reality. First up is the Maldives, which is beautiful, but oftentimes it has really bad, unpredictable weather. Next up is Haoyang Lake in China, which looks great.
Okay, so right off the bat, I would use this instead. So This has 2.3 million likes, right? If we go to the Travel Shacks page, we go to popular. You look at this, 77 million views, 38 million views, 24, 22. So I'm going to look for something kind of like generic here that I think is like, it doesn't even have to have that many views, but I'm going to look at something generic that would catch a lot of attention. But maybe something like this.
This is social media versus reality. First up is this crazy bridge in China, but in reality, it rarely looks like this and is filled with people.
I don't like this sound right now. But we're getting a few ideas here. First is it's other people's content, right? But first, one thing they're doing is they're doing social media versus reality. So they're showing what it looked like on social media, and then they're actually showing what it really looks like with a bunch of people. And they're showing what this looks like, and then they're actually showing what it really looks like when you go there. So I think this is a really cool concept in the travel niche right off the bat, is understanding that. That's one thing we learned from it. The second thing that we learned from it is kind of how they're jump cutting the video. No scene is lasting like longer than a second, and they're really getting the point across quick. And these videos do very, very, very well. So you can actually go to the channel and you can kind of see they have a whole entire social media versus reality series. You know, the whole social media versus reality. Places on earth that don't feel real. Okay. So I feel like number one is that there's better ones to use than this. And this has got the same concept. Places on earth that don't feel real, but just not as good. The video is not as good, right? So it's kind of like a knockoff. That's number one. But this is probably the bigger one. Dan, if you're still there paying attention, here's the bigger one. The fact that this is on it right here, Messenger, send message, means that you're running a messenger ad. You're running an ad where the call to action is for people to send you a message. So this is probably the biggest thing you guys have to learn is you do not want to run this kind of ad on this kind of video, because then it's not going to get you any engagement. So there's only 7 likes on this. Now, granted, an ad works, right? So here's a page with literally nobody likes the page, nobody follows it, and yet an ad still gave it exposure in the newsfeed. But if you ran an ad with a video views objective on this, or some type of a page post engagement objective with no call to action. Here's the big thing you guys want to do. You do not want a call to action. Again, think of a call to action as like you're trying to make money. So once the ad platforms know you're trying to make money, they're going to charge you more because they think, oh, you're making money off this. You could afford to pay a lot. So you're spending $10 for 7 likes or 10 likes. So you're spending $1 per like. You would never want to do that, right? It'll never ever work. It'll never be financially good. So you never want to put a call to action. You never want to do any of that kind of stuff. Instead, what you want to do is you just want to simply say, how can I take this video has the potential to go viral? How can I simply give it a little boost? Since I don't have any fans and any likes on my page, how can I give it a little boost and then see if enough people will comment, tag their friends, share it on their profiles and stuff like that. That's all you're looking for. You just want it to go viral. So when you guys place ads, remember, your entire purpose is just to try to get something to go viral. It is not to make money off of it. You will make money other ways. You will not. So I want to encourage everybody, don't try to do that. Okay. Dan, do you have any questions about that feedback? Was that good? Let me know. Stefan said, for example, you could repurpose by using AI to change the voice. Yes. You could even do your own voiceover. Yes. But you could even just learn how to, once you kind of like learn how these videos are made, do you want to know an even better idea, Stefan? Take 10 of them and mix and match them all. Now you're making completely original content. Do exactly what you're talking about, but actually mix and match a bunch of them together. All right. Let's go to some other concepts here. Well, I'll do a couple more questions. Alex says, do you recommend using OPC on a professional profile to draw more followers, or is this only for pages? What is a professional profile? Just to be, so we're clear, I don't want to misunderstand what you're saying. Are you talking about your personal Facebook? Are you talking about like my personal Chris Record Facebook? But how do you draw more followers to your personal? I'm curious. I mean, I think what you're talking about is a totally different training, which is essentially Facebook will pay you to create reels. So they're basically willing to pay content creators up to $30,000 a month. I think that's the max, but it could be more. Maybe I'm qualified for 30,000 a month. So my Facebook is qualified to earn $30,000 a month from reels. I've only earned a few thousand. I've never tried. I don't even ever post. But like literally just like the small amount of content I posted has earned a lot of money. So it pays really well. But I've never experimented with trying to get paid off of other people's content like that directly from my personal profile. From Faceless, it works really well. From personal profile, I probably wouldn't recommend it just because now you're putting your personal profile at risk. So I would say save that for like intermediate. I would save it for intermediate. Would I pay Stefan boost content personal? I would not boost any content from a personal profile. No. There's a few rules of thumb that I would use in my personal profile. Am I still sharing my screen? No. There's a few rules of thumb I'm going to use my personal profile. One is I'm going to treat it a little bit more sacred. So I'm going to be much less willing to take a risk with my personal profile. That's just me. When my personal brand is attached, I'm just simply going to take less risk. Number two, don't boost anything. Don't pay for any boosted posts on your personal profile. Okay. Not worth it. Number three, don't try to sell too much stuff from your personal profile until you're intermediate or advanced. Do focus more on invisible selling, sell through direct messages, and sell through stories. Okay. Everybody understand? And then even when you do sell from your personal profile, the selling should still be wrapped in value. But I don't think I would ever have somebody click a link off your personal profile to go buy something. I don't think I would ever do that. That'll just ruin your personal profile. So you really want to focus on your personal profile. But my advice for your personal profile is very, very simple. You guys have heard me say this over and over and over. I like saying it over and over because repetition is the key to learning. In fact, I should say that again. Repetition is the key to learning. Or another way to put it is repetition is the mother of all learning. Okay? Repetition is the mother of all learning. So essentially, what you should do with your personal profile is you should focus on having a daily power post. This is one post per day on your Facebook that you post that is value driven. It's your daily value post, your power post. It's like spend some effort once a day to create something good. Stop with all this other BS and just become somebody who's a good content creator. Just stop with everything else. If you got some little rant to say it on Twitter. Do you know what I'm saying? Or say it in a story. I may do a little bit of that today because I'm not going to dive too deep, but I want to stay on topic a little bit, but I may do a little bit of personal. The next part that I'll say about your personal profile is it should look like all you're doing is creating value and never selling. But once you get to an intermediate level, like for me, my followers they all want to buy something from me. So once you've built up enough KLT factor, yes, you're going to get to a point where your followers all want to buy something. Like for example, if Alex Hormozy posted, "Hey guys, I just launched a course. It's $1,000. Here's a link to buy it." He'll make $1 million just like he'll make like 100 grand just posting that on Facebook. Because people want to buy a course from Alex Hormozy. They really want to because he's built up so much, he's built up a vault of value with people. So someone like myself, they would want me to sell something. So you might see people sell, but usually the only time it's working is if they've created a vault of value. Otherwise, just sell via stories or sell via DMs. That's what I would do in my person. And also I'd be less risky. Now with my Faceless pages, you can experiment and do all you want, but I would generally try to do the same thing. Create a party everybody wants to come to. Plenty of ways to monetize. You don't need to try so hard to monetize. Can we use other people's content for Facebook stories? I would have to know what you're trying to use in a Facebook story. Facebook stories are generally very short, but yes, I mean, a perfect example of content that works really well in Facebook stories would be memes. How many times have you guys ever seen people create picture memes? Or not even create, just repost picture memes in their stories. It's entertaining, right? So yes, you can repost other people's content in stories, but you should you should use content that is better for stories. You should always use content that is designed for the thing. Also, recently I started a Facebook group to post training, lead magnets, etc., to help build my audience list. Alex, what is your niche? That sounds very, very generic. I'm not sure it'll work very well. Dan says the ads manager doesn't let you advertise a post. Dan, that's the only thing an ads manager lets you advertise is a post. So I must be missing something here, Dan. The only thing that they'll let you do is advertise a post. What is the ads manager letting you advertise? You can only, the ads manager will only let you advertise content from your fan page, either what's called a dark post or a public post. They're either going to say advertise one of your existing posts or create a new post, what is called a dark post, which means it's not seen on your page publicly to all your subscribers. It's just an ad. No, it lets you either choose an existing post or create a new post. By the way, you can create the post, write an ads manager, and publish it to your page. But yeah, you can. The only thing ads manager will let you do is choose an existing. If you go through it again, Dan, you'll see it this night. And Dan, hats off to Dan. How about this? Everybody that loves somebody in the group that takes Dan is living in his van, coming on these Zooms. If everybody loves people that take action, type "Go Dan" in the chat right now. If you guys just love action takers and stuff like that, type "Go Dan." Go Dan, go Dan, go Dan. I don't want Dan to feel like I'm picking on him, but hey, you guys already know it's how I review. I'm sorry, it's just how I review, y'all. Dan, there's some love. See, Dan, you got the love you got the kiss from the community, and you got the slap from Chris. Okay. All right, I'm going to keep going. Staying on topic, slightly different perspective. Okay, so what I want to do right now is I was just watching some videos from these people. I'm going to kind of give you guys an example. Okay, so there's this couple, and the couple's name is Eva and Javier. By the way, if anybody has seen this couple, Eva and Javier, type a 1 in the chat. If you've not, type a 2. I'm just curious what gets seen in y'all's news feeds. 1 if you've seen them, 2 if you have not. Okay, so clearly we get different content in our news feeds. Okay. Glad I caught that. Okay, glad I caught that. 1 if you have seen Eva and Javier, and 2 if you have not. Okay, this is the couple right here. 1 if you have seen their content, 2 if you have not. Okay, sorry, I'm glad I caught that early because I was about to go deep without you guys. Okay, so here's an example of skit comedy. And I think skit comedy is a great niche to be in, but I just don't think most of us could do it. I think if any of us have the ability to do skit comedy, I think it's fantastic. So here's the husband. So she got 1.2 million followers. Here's the husband. 284. Geez, it's all her, huh? It's all her. Okay. So they've got a couple Instagrams, but also they have a YouTube. Okay. So we're going to click on their YouTube. The Gabriels, look, 2 million subscribers, 358 videos. Right. So go to videos here. And you look, 4-minute video, 1-minute video, 4-minute video, 2, 2, 4, 4. Okay. So what they do is they create these skits. They get hundreds of thousands of views. But then each one of these skits, they put into shorts. So like, here's a 4.5-minute skit, almost 5 minutes. Right. I fell in love with the thief. But then if you go to shorts, you'll probably be able to find that same one. Let's see if I'm able to find it easily. Sometimes just by thumbnails, I can't find things, but And it's in here anyways. They make shorts of the same stuff, right? I don't see it, but it's in here. Don't worry. I believe it. They make so many, it's just hard to find. But yeah, so anyways, that's a bad example since I can't find that exact one. But look at all these shorts that they have, right? So they just create all these shorts. Like here she is in bed. So let's look at a few.
Just to be clear, you're not gonna make dinner tonight, right?
Fuck you.
Oh, you're making beef stew?
Fuck you.
Oh, first you gotta vacuum? Oh, there's the broom? You want the broom?
Oh.
Okay, so this is a clip from a skit or whatever, right? So just doing a short clip, and she's obviously like wrapped up in some fake bandages, and he's asking if she's still gonna do, you know, the stay-at-home wifey stuff, and she's mad or whatever. And it's just some content for people to laugh at. Okay, you don't need to worry.
Enjoy your stay.
You too.
Okay, when you accidentally say you too. So she said, the hotel clerk says, enjoy your stay. And he says, you too, realizing she's not staying there, you know, and then just becomes cringy. So I'm just going to spend a couple minutes. I don't want you to think about having to create videos like them unless you really want to, in which case you should. But
What do you do for work?
I'm in media. I'm on media.
okay, so let's look at one of these, right? So what do you do for work? I'm in media. Okay, so let's like look at this one just as an example here. So what we have here is we have, you know, up on the top, when you lie about your job. So this is essentially like, and then power couple hashtag shorts, right? So they're just acting out. They're on a date and they're asking each other what they do for work, but we already kind of know a little bit of a hook here when you lie about your job. So let's see what he lies about.
Media distribution officer.
I'm a media distribution officer, but then it goes to him throwing paper. Looks like he's a paper boy.
I'm impressed. Your parents must be so proud. I own my own business. I'm a curbside pharmaceutical vendor.
Are you kidding me? How did I get a date with you?
I'm very down to earth.
Mr. CEO over here. I'm the lucky guy.
What do you do for work?
Okay, so it's a simple little clip like that, right? Now, this is an example of content creators that generally know their content is just going to be thrown about everywhere. Their content, this clip right now can be found on no less than 100 other fan pages in a matter of just a minute. In a matter of 10 minutes right now, whatever, we can go and we can find this same clip everywhere. We can do the same thing with pretty much every single one of their clips, right? So even though they have a Facebook fan page of, you know, whatever this is, 1 million followers, they got a Facebook fan page with 1 million followers. Just because they do, it's still going to be everywhere. Like, for example, let's look at this one. You know, here they all are. Here's a bunch of videos all about them, but it's on another one, right? And the thing is, there's just hundreds of pages like this. Okay. So this is kind of the concept of these faceless pages is somebody has said, wow, these videos are really good. They go viral and they're pretty easy to just simply download and post because there's no big branding on them. There's no anything like that. So this person did that. But let's see, this got 457,000 views, right?
Your wife says you never buy her flowers.
Yeah. Tell her. Why?
First of all, I never even knew she had a flower shop. Or else why would I keep that business from my wife? Of course I'd buy flowers from you. In fact, the question we should be asking each other is, when did you buy a flower shop?
Okay, so they're obviously like playing some funny skit off of it, right? Anyways, you never know what's going to go viral. So what this person did is they just created a basic random page. Nothing special about their page at all, right? If we looked at it, they don't even have a cover photo. Like, I just want you to realize how dumb it is. No cover photo, no profile photo. All they did was they just uploaded this, right? And look at this, 1.4 million. 1.4 million views.
There he is.
Baby.
What's up, big dog?
Excuse me?
You doing good? Looking good?
What are you talking
Getting that
about?
hustle?
What are you talking about?
Rent is due in 2 days.
No.
I'm gonna need that.
No, you're paying rent.
Woo woo! Get after it.
Did you whoa, whoa.
You're a good man.
Get back here, babe.
Okay, so my point is that when you, okay, this is the first point that I'm going to make right now, okay? And we'll come back and we'll share this again. The first one I'm going to make is that when you see content in the newsfeed, just realize it's getting pretty dark in here. Hold on one second. Let me see if this will help. No? Am I going to have to get more lights in here? I don't know if it's dark for you guys. Also, I don't think I'm plugged in. Is that going to help? I don't know. But the bottom line is that when you see content in the newsfeed that's viral, when you get these reels, like half the time or more, they're not even from the original profile that it's posted from. So you really got to kind of understand that there's an entire industry of people that are doing this just for the creator revenue. They're just doing it to try to get enough views that they qualify for the creator program. And when they qualify for the creator program, they start getting paid on those views. And most of these people are overseas. So most of the people that are doing this are not Americans. They're mostly people that are just like overseas that are a little bit more hungry for opportunity like this. They're willing to jump on it because we don't. But they don't understand how to be able to really, they don't have someone like this teaching them. So they are a lot of times just young people that are just, from India or whatever. They're just clipping, grabbing videos, posting them and just trying to see if something works. They don't really understand the logic behind it. They don't understand how to monetize. They don't understand stuff. That's where we have the advantage. And so what I'm saying is that what I would do is I would literally do pretty much what they're doing, but I would create a niche. And I would create a niche that, like, right now, why don't you guys tell me what types of niche pages do you think would be good for Eva and Javier's content? Eva and Javier, give me some examples of niches of an audience that would be good for those. Give me some examples. You could either name like what the name of a page should be or what the niche should be. Give me some examples in the chat right now. What type of audience would relate to these videos? Relationships, new parents, couples, young couples, dating. No. Someone said viral clips using OPC. No. That's not a niche at all. That would be an example of what not to do. Actors, actresses, not really vibing it. Because they're not famous. They're not known. Dogs, no. Am I missing something here? Did I ask the wrong question? Like, why would people say dogs? Comedy, yes. Marriage, yes. You guys are getting most of it, right? Dating, relationships, marriage, couples, comedy. These, like, I'm looking for real stuff. Like, if you guys can't think of names, like dogs, no. Celebrities, no. Sex, no. You got to be able to identify actual niches that actually really fit these things that you can use, that you would actually be able to go. So right now, if I gave you 100 videos that were already downloaded in a Google Drive of these and the caption for each one. So if I gave you 100 videos downloaded and the captions for each one that are ready to go right now, everything's done. All you have to do is create the page and upload it. What niche would you target to have the best result with this? Fitness, no. Sex, no. AI, no. Okay. Motivational, no. So go back to the basics. Relationships, couples, comedy, dating, these types of things, right? And then now try to think of another word or maybe two more words like a 2 to 3 word title, page name that would fit. So again, here's the challenge for you guys right now to be thinking. If I gave you 100 done for you videos of them and you were able to post them 1 video a day for the next 100 days, or 2, 3 videos a day for the next month, 3 videos a day going out for the whole month, and you're going to boost some of them, so you're going to be able to find some fans, what would the name of the page be given one of those niches you're choosing? Okay. Are you guys just playing with me with things like dance lessons? I think some of you are just playing with me. Somebody said dogs again. Okay, let's try to find some real ones. It's really a challenge for you guys. Let's try to think of some real names here. I'm seeing if there's anything that I like. Nothing I like. So I was just trying to see if anybody can kind of come up with something that I thought was good. So you're essentially looking for like a page name that somebody would want to subscribe to if they were to see this video. Right? What would people want to subscribe to? Without using their names, you don't want to use their names, but also you don't want the page to be done in a month. So what happens when you run out of using their content? Aren't you gonna find other married couples, or aren't you gonna find other videos that have to do with relationship, dating, couples, and comedy? Isn't this your niche? So it can't be about them. You have to think further. You have to think, okay, I want it to be about relationships, dating, married, couple, comedy, these kind of things, but I want it to be able to reach. I want to be able to have 1,000 videos. I'm just getting the head start with 100. Most of all the names that most of all the page names I'm seeing right now, there's nothing here that I'm thinking like, oh, I'd love to subscribe to that. And that's really the only benefit a name has, right? You have a limited amount of real estate. You have a profile picture, you have a name, and you have the video. Love, sex, comedy, kind of cool, but it's the word sex won't fly. Okay, I would say something like, I would say if it were me, I would say I would try to take like a phrase out of pop culture. Okay. What's a phrase out of pop culture that has to do with like relationships or couples or things like that? I would take a phrase, like something that like people that like, okay, I would say, okay, obviously I'm going to target men and women together that are in a relationship, no matter what. I'm not targeting single men. I'm not targeting women. I really want to target people in a relationship, but ultimately the man kind of bows down to the woman a lot in these videos. So I'd probably say like, it's a little bit more like my name I'd come up with be like, my page might be called like Happy Wife, Happy Life, something like that, or a spin-off of that. Happy Wife, Happy Life, something like that. That's like, and then I'm going to primarily target women. So I'm going to target women who are in relationships. I'm going to probably say, okay, I think women are more likely to engage than men. I think women would like the concept of happy wife, happy life. And I think I could probably find a whole bunch of videos that kind of like show men doing things for women in relationships that are kind of like, maybe kind of making the woman feel, and I think I could get something there. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I feel something like that is probably what I would do. But I want you to be thinking of stuff like this. Also, when you see other fan pages, think of stuff like this. Baywatch with B-A-E. I like that. That uses pop culture, the term bae. B-A-E would be like your girl, right? Your guy, your partner. So I like the idea of implementing that. Simp Nation. No, this is not, I wouldn't do something about it's they're not about simping. But yeah, you want to like, okay, here's another example. It'd be like love bombing, like a pop culture term about relationships. Like it's something called like bombing. You know, I would probably think of like, I would look up like, what are some pop culture terms about relationships or marriage or stuff like that. And I would maybe even ask ChatGPT and try to come up with like a list and try to put a little play of words on something that's like kind of cool. Like maybe the page is called The Art of Love Bombing. And it's just like, it makes people like, because you already have the video, right? And so now you want to know like, well, what's this page about? The art of love bombing. Wait, that's love bombing's not good. Love bombing's bad. And they're teaching the art of it. So like that would be an example, right? Love bombing is associated with narcissistic tendencies. Exactly. That's exact, like love bombing's not good, right? So it would make somebody want to see why there would be a page that's teaching the art of love bombing. You know, but then it's like really not about the art of love bombing, something like that. Happy wife, happy life, the art of love bombing. But some of you are going to have to use Google or ChatGPT because you're from the wrong generation. You're probably, for videos to go viral, you're probably going to need to, usually you're going to need to go a couple decades down. So the older we get, the less likely we are to sit around and engage on videos all day. Obviously, the videos that go the most viral are going to target like 13-year-olds, right? 14-year-olds. They're going to effortlessly go viral. But there is a range there that does really well. But I would say no matter what, you're not targeting like anybody over 55 for sure. You're really gonna, I mean, there's some extreme pages that maybe are completely tailored towards much older adults. But generally speaking, for the virality, you're gonna try to probably go a couple decades younger. Okay. I'm gonna go off the cuff right now, and we're just gonna look at some pages. We're just gonna go random and see what the algorithm shows us, and I'm gonna do like a social review session, but just literally just pages. But anyways, like right here, I would like, I mean, look, it's 1.4 million. This is all organic. You know these people aren't advertising. They don't even bother putting anything together, just using other people's content. So let's just see what happens. Let me make sure I'm sharing the right screen because you never know with me. Okay. Let's just see what happens, right? So let's go to, okay, first let's go to saved. Okay, so for example, I just saved this, right? Men's friendships very confusing, right? So one thing that you guys want to do is you want to get in the habit of saving and creating collections. Okay, so cats, create a cat collection. Or in this case, let's create a new collection right here, and let's call it relationships. Okay, just like that. Or let's create a new collection and let's call it happy wife, happy life. Okay. Okay. So I've got happy wife, happy life, right? And now when I save videos that are relationship videos, I'm going to click add a collection, happy wife, happy life, only me. I'm the only one that needs to see that right now. And I'm done. And then go down to this one, add the collection, happy wife, happy life, only me, done. Now this can be done from mobile or from desktop. I need you guys to understand that you need to go to Reels and you need to start saving them. So okay, so these three dots right here, click the three dots and click save reel. Okay, that's it. You can always organize your reels later. Right now, I just want you to save any reels that you think have any possibility of benefiting anything at all. Okay, so if there's anything you can learn from it. Okay, now I saved this reel because I wanted to see this page. That was the main reason I saved this reel, was I wanted to give you an example of here's this couple, and then here's just one of the hundreds of pages that are repurposing it. Okay, but with that being said, the very next video that plays is from a different page. Dixie Castillo posting them. Do you see what I'm saying? So let's go right here, save reel. But the very next page is somebody else posting them. So now let's look at this one. Again, these are just faceless pages. Like, look, it's got the couple in here and follow us. Okay, look, they're just doing the same thing. It's just yet another page that's posting all their content. What I'm saying is that these people, the reason they don't mind is because they're going mega viral from this, right? This is getting them so much exposure. It's just insane. So, but look at this, just constantly, it's just all these pages doing the same thing, some more successful than others. So, and again, they're doing a bad job. They don't know what to do. They're not as good as us. So I'm just showing you kind of how that works.
All right, so who's getting custody?
Now here's another one. Let's look at this one. Open link in new tab. Just literally, I'm just going through, right? And look, clearly, these guys are just not, now I would not do this, but they're just completely knocking off the brand. They are pretending to be the Gabriels. The Gabriels, hello everyone. Ivana Javier. They're just pretending. But clearly this is a knockoff page. I mean, and look, it only has 2,000 likes, whatever, 44,000. This is like, no, this is not even them. Like this, but this is going too far. This is posting and pretending you're them. What I'm saying is that these people are not doing it right. What I would do instead is I would come up with some type of a couples or relationship thing. But I mean, look at this, 22,000, 17,000, 17,000, 25,000, 25,000, 29,000, 24,000, 44,000. Literally, they're just using other people's content and just getting a ton of views. Okay. Now they're doing, I don't like this part. I don't like faking it. Also, this is going to hurt you if you ever do get monetized. A page like this likely going to get shut down. So as long as you guys understand that, hopefully you guys are following along. Okay, so let's go back. And again, I'm going to save it just so that I have that as an example of that page. Okay, here's the cat videos I'm telling you about. So just like I told you before is I told my friend I wanted to help him do a cat video. So I started searching up viral cat videos. And now my newsfeed, I've trained the newsfeed to show me a bunch of viral cat videos because right now what I'm doing is I've seen this video, I'm stopping and I'm watching it. So when there's cat videos, I'm stopping and I'm watching them, and then let's save the cat video. And I'm going to save this too, and then I'm going to organize to my cat folder. So I'm just going to save all of these, and I'm going to continue to organize these and continue to go, continue to go, continue to go. So again, it's just me, just in real time right now.
I'm not wearing any.
Okay, there's another skit. Open that up to the page. And you'll start to realize it's almost all faceless. So here we go. Here's another page. This is not them. It's all faceless. 8K, 10,000, 10,000. So what I'm saying is these people that are doing it are generally, they're all doing it, but they're not doing it as well as we could do it. And there's just, like I said, probably 100 pages that are just doing this. That's what you guys really need to understand. Michael Pendleton says, aren't those views the original views, or do views go to zero when you save and post your page? No, those are not the original views. Okay, is this maybe a big wake-up call, right? When we see something like this, let's say this video, 12,000 views.
Why are
317 likes when he begins his dad joke phase, right? But if you actually look at the actual real page, 1.1 million followers, this is their actual profile. Look at this, 1.3 million views. Hundreds of thousands of views, 4.1 million views. This is their actual real profile. Listen, if I were to download this 1.9 million views, if I'm going to download this and upload this to my profile, the views start over. Does everybody understand that? They have 1.9 million views here, plus all of the other accounts that have ever downloaded and shared this video. All of those views are basically earned media exposure. They're getting exposure outside of this. I'm gonna stop, make sure you guys understand this. 8.4 million views. But if we go to all of these other pages, it's just gonna have like 10,000 views here, 5,000 views there, 2,000 views there, 12,000 views there, 100,000 views here on top of this. Those views do not increase this. So if you go to a page like this, these 8,000 views, this is not the real page. It's a knockoff page. These 8,000 views are not contributing to the main video. This video was re-uploaded. So these are 8,000 new views. And what I'm saying is, don't do this. Don't pretend to be celebrities. That is old, archaic thinking because you don't have to do that anymore. And also, I wouldn't just use all the same videos of the same people. So for example, let's say I'm posting 3 reels a day. Let me get off the share. Let's say that let's say I've got a relationship page and I'm posting 3 reels a day, 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, 1 in the evening, right? Something like that. Let's say 1 at 9 a.m., 1 at 12, lunch, and 1 at 3. So let's say I'm posting 3 hours apart, 3 reels a day, 3 hours apart like that. I might post my Hava and Eva reels. Let's say I've downloaded 100 of their videos. I might post those all for the 9 a.m. slot. Every 9 a.m., every day at 9 a.m., I've got a new video of theirs that I'm going to post. But I'm going to find 2 other, let's say, relationship people and post them at noon and then at 3. And then now I've got my content scheduled out for the whole entire month, let's say. I could do all that in, let's say, a day, schedule out all my content. But then on top of that, I'm always going to be looking for some random viral stuff, just super random viral stuff. Maybe I post that at 6 p.m. at night on random days. And maybe that's my flexible time is like later on at night, trying to find some random viral stuff. And then maybe I come up with another super random viral couple or whatever, and maybe I'll repost that kind of stuff. So I'm just looking to be able to jumpstart my page using other people's content. And eventually, once I start getting a fan base and once I start getting engagement, I know I've got a good niche. I know I've got something good. Now I'm going to maybe start trying a little bit harder. Now I'm going to maybe start blending in some of my own content, maybe really trying to spend some time. In the beginning, I'm just looking to load up a page and see if it works. Yes, this doesn't even count the views on the other platforms. So for example, when you see that they get 8 million views on Facebook, that's not including, they also posted to YouTube Shorts, they also posted to Instagram Reels, they also posted to TikTok. So collectively, they might have done 25 million views on that single video. Then on top of that, there's all the knockoffs. There's all the people that are doing OPC, which is so much more than you can imagine. And they like it. It's giving them exposure. It's drawing people's attention to them. When I first heard about them, I did not hear about them from their page. I was seeing it from other people's pages. So they know this. They like it. They want that extra exposure as long as it's not making them look bad. At the end of the day, that's really what matters, is as long as it's not making them look bad. Do you create another separate Facebook profile? No, you don't create Facebook profiles. You create Facebook pages. You don't post any of this to a profile, okay? You don't do any of this, right? All these different ones here. I guess they're calling them profiles now, so I apologize if it's just a wording change, but don't post it to your own. You just create all these other ones. Create, public page. Next. And then go through and do it all. Okay. Makes sense? They're always changing the names of this stuff and they're always changing the setup of this stuff. So I apologize if sometimes stuff changes. Yeah. If you have your personal profile up here and then you have any alternate pages you want to create. So I can go over here, billiards, tricks, and tips. And now I'm logged in as billiards, tricks, and tips. You are acting as billiards, tricks, and tips. So now I've got my own page, right? I could even follow them from that page. All right, but now I'm logged in. I've got my own set of messages, my own set of notifications, people liking your stuff, my own set of messages. Okay, we're not going to go into all this right now. But my point is, sorry, let me go back to Chris Record. My point is that we could easily go in and do this. I'm going to keep going through the newsfeed though. So these pages here, let's look at this. So this is the conversation between 2 cats, right? This is very popular right now. Cat 1 is asking a question. Cat 2 has a short answer. Cat 1 asks another question. And then cat 2 has 2 answers. See? So it's question, answer, answer. And you essentially could put who the cats are representing, and you could do this for any niche. So in a intermediate to advanced version of this, You could create this for a real estate niche, for network marketing. Like if I had a network marketing page, I would basically recreate these cat videos and make a whole bunch of network marketing memes, and that would blow up. If you have a real estate audience, I would use the cat memes and I would create a bunch of these with the real estate audience and it would blow up. That's kind of how these people are using these, is doing that. However, you could even just create like a cats page and use these like little cats videos for people that also just like cats. They love seeing all the different versions of these videos. They think they're all pretty funny. So there's just a bunch of different ways to go with that, if that makes sense, right? And so you can also do this with relationships. If you have the relationships page, you would say, oh, how many of these cat videos can I find that are relationships? So it's the same thing. You're going to save reel. We're going to keep going.
Look at your hair.
Okay. You already know it's Eva and Javier, right? So who is Zachary Mitchell? Look, it's another fake profile. It's got Eva and Javier, another knockoff profile, knocking it off. 10,000 likes, same thing. I'm not saying to do this. I'm just showing you how successful it is. And you don't need to do what they're doing. They are literally just, they are doing more copyright infringement, right? Look at this nothing in the cover photo. And they're just using a knockoff thing with like a fake name, right? But you just look at all these views that they're getting, 3.1 million views, 2.8 million views, 3.5 million views. It's working. My point is that they're not even doing it right and it's working. So there's a lot to learn from this. So here's another one. When you dump the kids off to their grandparents, and this one's called Luda Easy. These are all faceless pages. So here's another faceless page, Luda Easy. And look, it's all videos from the people. It's all Javier and Eva videos. So you see what I'm saying? Like people are really, and that's just for them. Here's another pet one. Two pets talking to each other or just reacting and stuff going on there. Funny pet memes. 33,000 likes. So go here. There's another faceless page. This one's about pets. I think you guys think this stuff is silly and not realize that we have the ability to make millions of dollars off this stuff. And so otherwise I wouldn't be teaching it to you. But look at these reels. 28,000, 10,000, 194,000. The point is that you have the ability to be able to, there's a sea. Let's have some straight talk. There is a world of, there's an ocean, a social media ocean out there. And you have to find some way to be able to get attention. Once you can get attention, then you can get traffic. Once you can learn how to be a traffic director and direct traffic anywhere you want it, then you can start directing traffic to leads and sales. So at some point, you have to figure out how to get traffic. Now, it might be more traditional, such as just pay for it, advertise for it. Cool. It might be more physical, such as go pass out flyers or go talk to people within 3 feet of you or go put roadside signs or bandit signs in the ground. Cool. It might be something a little bit more personal, such as get to 5,000 friends on your Facebook profile. Just start networking and expanding your reach. And then you got this Facebook profile. Cool. Or it might be something like this, which is figure out a way to create viral content that gets a lot of attention and try to be able to grow that to the point where every post you make gets thousands and thousands of likes, shares, comments, and all that and goes viral. So now you have the ability to be able to control traffic. Once you can control traffic, you can learn how to monetize it. But traffic, leads, and sales, we already pretty much take care of the leads and sales for you, especially when we're giving you $5 funnels. Little paid leads are even better. You can put your own free offer in the front, like an ebook, a lead magnet, but we pretty much take care of the process for you. You're going to at some point have to get good at traffic. So if you're wondering, why am I teaching you these random ideas? It's because literally anybody with a Wi-Fi connection and a computer can sit on their couch and can build these pages. People are doing it. And these pages can then create a lot of, I'm just going through randomly. You guys, I'm literally just going through and randomly showing you what the page, how do you edit the conversation for the cats? You would have to create your own videos. You would have to go, you would just research it and go see where's the original cat video. And you would get the video, you get the little template, either in Canva or CapCut of the two cats having a conversation. And then you'd create those yourself. Honestly, there's probably, literally those videos are going so viral. There's probably tutorial videos on blogs showing you how. If I create a page while logged into my account Can others see that the page is created by me? No, that's the whole point. They're faceless. Look, I want you guys to ask more questions so that I know you're taking this serious. So I want you to take a minute right now and ask more questions. While you're doing that, I'm going to just continue to share more of this. I need you guys to know, I need you guys to see how big this is. Look, I'm just going randomly right now off of what this is showing me. Look at this. Another repurpose from another page. I'm just literally getting flooded. Now that I'm stopping on these, the algorithm's like, oh, you want to see more of these videos? And they're just pulling them from random pages. This one's called Leslie Buckley. People are doing this left and right, and they're monetizing it through Reels. And then look, I'm getting pets. Basically everything we're talking about, probably because Facebook is listening, right? But all they're showing me now, literally all I'm seeing is these things. When you've had an argument and he calls you crazy, and now you will show him crazy. So if I have a cat page, I'm going to save that, save reel to cats. Keep going. Here's the cats talking again. Okay, so they're making a joke. I have an important question to you. Why do you always ask when I'm going to marry you? Because I like fear. I like seeing fear in your eyes. And they're just saying this is the boyfriend. And so essentially, 8,000 likes is just massive. This stuff is going massive, right? So again, then you also have the ability to be able to see the page. When you see the page, there might be something to learn from the page as well, right? So you're like, why is this page posting it? Okay. So you're starting to kind of also see, okay, here's this person, this is their page, and they just happen to post something viral like that as a reel. So if we go to Reels and we look, at some point, they just decided to post something viral right there, right? Or dear, are you mad? Dear, are you mad? No. So where is my towel? Oh, you can take it on the mop. Okay, this is just dumb. But my point is that they're doing all of the beauty stuff, and then they're even just putting in the cat videos. Now, I think these cat videos are off brand for them, but look, this is how popular they are. They have that one. They have this one. They have this one. This person's trying to leverage these cat videos because look, 3.4 million. Look, 3.4 million views. What's your dream? To lose weight. So why aren't you doing anything to lose weight? Because if I lose weight, there will be nothing to dream about. Okay, so this simple thing right here, for whatever reason, for her, went viral. Look, 3.4 million plays. So you start realizing she just started posting these cat videos and got 3.4 million plays off that one. So she's like, hey, it's working, right? Just repurposing other people's content. So she just found somebody that made that and posted it on top of all this other stuff she's posting. So you're starting to realize, okay, that helps her to be able to get some followers, right? She doesn't have any followers. It helps her to be able to get some a little bit of momentum, although it's not on brand. So since it's not on brand, it's not really helping her. And that's what we would want to do differently, is we would want to be able to create some viral videos for this brand. If this is your actual brand, if you are an esthetician or whatever in London, there's much better lip augmentation, permanent makeup. There's much better things that she should be doing to be able to grow this brand. And that's kind of like more or less what we teach. But you're seeing the same thing here. You're seeing they're posting it, right?
Your son just...
Another knockoff page. You could tell it's a knockoff page because we already saw the original.
Dude.
Another knockoff page. Another knockoff page. $50,000 followers. Dana V. Steve. I don't know what this is, but 22, interpreter, model, comedian, your daily dose of sarcasm. Dana V. Steve. Danave, is it a girl's name? So anyways, look, she's doing a bunch of the cat videos too. 25,000 likes, 36,000 likes, 6,000 likes, just posting the cat videos. That's all she's doing, posting these cat videos. Look at that. It's basically all cat videos. But it's pretty cool. And then look, there's another type of cat videos, 36,000. And it's just the cat's dancing like this, and then these reactions. So if I've got a pets page or a cats page or something like this, I'm going to basically bookmark this and I'm going to start to see, okay, these are real popular. Right? And it looks like she might even be creating these just because they all have the same theme. So she might be trying to create the original content. But yeah, look, it's like all cat videos. That's how popular these videos are right now. They're just going mega viral. But the thing is that this would work better if it were on a different page, right? So the thing is that it would work better. Is this her here? I can't even tell, right? It's either the guy or the girl that's with the guy, but or sorry, it's either the girl or the girl that's with the guy. It's one or the other. It's like either the boyfriend or girlfriend or themselves. But it's hard to even tell, right? And then they just have like a little post right here that's just that somebody said, can you post other people's content to stories? Yeah, this is an example. They're posting a meme, a picture meme to a story. But yeah, so this teaches us some stuff. This really teaches us that, like, look, the pictures of her getting 500, 600, 200, but then you throw in the cats and they get thousands, 25,000, 36,000. So the point is other people's content, look, 141, 357, but then 36,000. So you just start to realize when you can start to leverage other people's content and start to do way better. So, okay, let's do some questions here. I told you guys to try to ask some questions. If you copy and repost, do you include credit, name of original page? Just depends on if you really feel you need to. Obviously, every single person I showed you is not, but there will be times and situations, especially if it's like an industry colleague, then yeah. And that's where our videos will pop up in the feed. So exactly the way that you saw that the algorithm just referred me all those videos, if those were on your Faceless pages, that's exactly how the algorithm would refer you all those videos. So that's how your videos are going to go viral. I try something completely off the wall. I don't mind trying something completely off the wall. Like I said, we're all 3 feet from gold. There's some idea that nobody's doing that you could be the best at, but I would not do anything that did not have an easy way to advertise it. And I would not do anything that didn't have a niche that you could bridge market. Like if you're just getting a bunch of random viewers, it's going to be almost impossible to bridge market. So keep in mind that you're going to want to, at some point, identify a niche. That's how the stuff's going to work better. So you take the same concept they're doing, but instead of the niche being some knockoff, copyright infringing, using their image and likeness, you're just simply reposting some viral videos, but you're doing it under relationships or doing it under like romantic comedy or doing it under something that's targeting women. Like I told you, happy wife, happy life. And I would just use the same content, but I would literally just try to target women. All my advertising would just go to women. And I'd probably say, okay, women that are in married or in relationships, but I would probably also target I'd probably even target Hispanic women more. If the advertising allows me to, I'd probably even try to target women that would even relate to that a little bit more, to that couple a little bit more. And now that I got all of those women, and I know, okay, I got these women, they're married or they're in a relationship and they're Hispanic, they're women, they're, let's say, age 25 to 45 or 35, 55, whatever, let's say 25, 45 in that range, then I know that I'm going to advertise to them specifically. I know that all my bridge marketing is going to have elements that are going to relate to them specifically. It's going to be really easy to monetize. To me, that'd be a simple way right now to go put myself in front of 100,000 subscribers. I could build something like that to 100,000 subscribers, get myself in front of them and keep finding content that they like. And I'd be able to probably make 6 figures off of just that page that I just mentioned right now. I might even go a little further with my names. And I might say, okay, I want to involve romance, comedy, marriage, and some Hispanic element. And I might go with ChatGPT and try to have it come up with some Hispanic element. Like I just did this right now for my friend doing food. So as you guys know, I started learning Portuguese. I started going to these churrascos, 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 I think you call them. barbecues, Brazilian barbecues, stuff like that. And everybody that I've met now in these Brazilian communities, everybody's really into food and really like prides themselves in food. And when they come to America, it's kind of like you realize the food is very bland here and everybody's just putting spice on food. Whereas to them, the food's very flavorful and very, very rich. And so I started realizing like, wow, there's this love that they have for food. And you'll see this love in other countries, but there's this true love for food. And I realize Americans don't really have that I've experienced in my life. It's a very different love for food, right? And so I thought to myself, okay, let's go to ChatGPT and let's create like a page that has to do with like elements of food and also elements of like Brazil. And right off the bat, it said, here's a good idea for a name, Rio recipes. These would be recipes from Rio de Janeiro. And so then it's like, boom, you put together a page called Rio recipes, and every single post, it's a picture of a brilliant dish from Brazil with a recipe. That's your filler content. And then the viral videos are all the pictures that are like shot from above of people doing recipes. It's super simple. This stuff, it's like so easy. That's why I'm telling my friends to do it. You know, because it's just so easy to be able to do. Let me see if I can pull something up real quick. I'm just going to share my screen and then get back to these questions. But like, I just need you to understand how simple it is. Let's see, share. Okay, I just pulled up YouTube. I just typed in the word recipes, but like, you just like see these like first one.
This Cajun chicken pasta is made in one pot. Start by seasoning the chicken with a Cajun spice mix and cooking completely. Set it aside and cook onions and garlic. Then add uncooked penny pasta along with milk, broth, and more Cajun spices. Stir occasionally and it's gonna go from this to this to this. Add the sliced chicken back on top and then you can top.
Okay, so what I would do for something like this is it feels like they've really personalized this to their brand. And I'll even kind of like make sure that's looks like a pretty
By
good.
now, you know salmon is healthy for
Like 1.3 million subscribers. They're taking this really serious. So I don't think that they want me to necessarily just complete. I feel like in this, the vibe I'm getting is don't necessarily use this as is. But what I might do is I might take this at Feel Good Foodie and I might put it down. I might take this video, drop it into CapCut, and I might put like, or even Canva, and I might put just like a watermark at Feel Good Foodie, so that I'm giving them credit. And then what I'll probably do is take her talking away.
Top it off with some fresh tomatoes and chopped cilantro.
So what I would probably do is, this is what I would do, and you guys can copy me or not, but what I would probably do for something like this is I would probably go into CapCut and I would use the auto transcribe feature. Okay. We could do this tomorrow if you guys want, right? I don't want to go all day today, but I would basically use the 4K video downloader. I would download this. I'd throw it into CapCut. I'd auto transcribe. I'd go through and just kind of auto captions. I go through and I just kind of make sure it all comes in. As soon as I do, then I would just mute. I would just mute this audio. And then what I would do is I would basically grab some like either probably some AI music. I'd make like a cool, like some music that's like AI, and I make that the background music and just let the captions go. Right. And I put her little Feel Good Foodie down there. For call to action, I'd probably say, you know, full recipe in the description or something like that. There you go. And now I've just like, look, it's 576,000 likes. And this stuff is just easy. That's just enough. I'm just randomly finding this stuff so quick. So Rio recipes, right? Like I said, every day you can simply schedule out like a picture of a very beautiful meal that could be prepared that is Brazilian, and then put the instructions. Now, every single day I could also find these viral videos of just food in general and put it all there, but especially tapping into the Brazilian market. Then there's really two different directions I could go with this. Let's go intermediate level real quick for those of you that hung on a couple hours, right? Let's go intermediate level. There's an entire market right now of just taking existing viral videos and simply using captions in other languages for them. So watch what I could do. I could take those Eva and Javier videos. I could take 100 of those videos right now. And what I could do is I could simply pull them into CapCut and throw Portuguese captions on them, take those same videos, upload them to a Brazilian comedy page, and then advertise them to Brazil. Take the same things, create a Spanish romance comedy page, take the same videos, throw Spanish captions over them. They don't even have to speak in Spanish, just Spanish captions, so that people that do not speak English can enjoy this comedy. I would be improving the comedy. B, I would be helping to expand the brand of Eva and Javier, so they're less likely to be upset with me using it. And C, I'm able to advertise way cheaper by targeting an international market and get a huge niche audience that I could bridge into anything that I want to do. Just like that, intermediate level, you guys, but that is just an example of how people become successful making money online. Most of the people that are making money online, you do not see them, you do not know them. Just keep that in mind. 99% of the people that are making money online, you do not know. You always think only of the celebrities you know. Oh, there's Chris Record. Oh, there's Alex Hormozy. You know what I'm saying? Oh, there's Kat Sullivan. There's Kayla Kanai. You always think there's Billie Jean. There's Tony Robbins. Do you know what I'm saying? There's Frank Kern. You pretty much just, when you think of people making money online, you only think of the people that want you to know that they're making money online. But the vast majority of people that are making money don't want to share their secrets with you. They don't want you copying them. They don't want you competing with them. They just want to make money quietly and make a ton of money all the time. And that's kind of what I teach, is I kind of teach behind the scenes. If you really want to make money online, there's two different options. One, you can become the brand, in which case you're going to have to keep putting yourself out there like I do. Or second, you can become faceless, which is you'll get all the money without the criteria of having to be the brand. It takes a little bit longer to build, but once you build it, you could just outsource it and delegate it. This is all teachable stuff. You can literally just have your kids doing it. Just all these faceless channels and all these different niches. You build them all up. And then once they're built up, you're like, hey, okay, we got an asset that's over here growing. You got a whole bunch of them going. You got one that's growing. It's automated. It's growing and it's working and it's going viral. You boost it with some ads. It's going mega viral. Now you're like, all right, let's start making money from this one, but let's keep those other ones growing. It's pretty brilliant. You can use this to build a network marketing business. You could use this to build IIS. You could use this to generate leads for real estate. Shoot, I could do this right now. Everything I just taught, I could literally go back through and do it all with just real estate. Do you know how many real estate viral videos there are? You know those cat videos? You know how many are already done for real estate? But do you know how many? All it is question, answer, answer. Do you know how many little skits we could write out right now? We just take that one template. We can make 10 of those for real estate right now, just off of common funny things. Just sit around brainstorming with your friend over coffee at a coffee shop about some funny ideas. You don't have to be on camera. You just throw it in there and see if it works. Advertise to real estate agents. So that's what we're doing this week. This week I want to set up a couple pages. I want to be able to download some content. I want to be able to show you how to be able to do some of the stuff in the captions. I want to show you how to upload them, and we're going to boost them with some ads. And I just want to make sure you guys understand how. Okay. All right. Kat's talking about real estate. Yes. 100% right now. If you target it, if you had a page that had a video that you repurposed one of those videos of those two cats that were having a conversation that was funny about real estate, that like real estate agents would laugh, and you posted that, and then you advertised and targeted real estate agents, but you really focused more on like a video views objective or an engagement objective, it's going to go viral for sure. It's going to build the audience. It's pretty much guaranteed. All right. I know that we can keep going for hours, but I'm going to save some of this for tomorrow. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you did. I know I wanted to go longer here, but hopefully you guys enjoyed the pregame. The pregame was very, very valuable as well. If you guys are watching replay and you didn't see the pregame, we leaked out like the whole entire new user interface for the company. That was the first like almost hour of this. That's why the training, that's why everybody's been on for a long time. But if you're watching replay, I'm trying to give you guys straight up game. This is the game that I used to just teach in masterminds. It's crazy. You guys don't realize how good you have it. I had a $10,000 mastermind that this is the stuff that I would teach for 6-7 hours a day. We do it for like 3-4 days in a row. It was 10 grand and there was no refunds. Everybody loved it. So just be grateful. It's just a free bonus right here with what we got going on. All right. With that being said, I'll catch you guys later. Peace.